So to continue my series where I talk about popular celebrity styles, we're going to be looking at Austin Butler today. Austin's been all over the internet the past few years, with his style being one of the main talking points. But why? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. And by the way, if you don't know who Austin is, it doesn't matter. This video will still be useful. You also don't have to like his style to still get value from this video. There's always something you can learn from others, whether you like their style or not. If you like this video at any point, please feel free to drop it a like. And now that's all out the way, let's get into the video. So the first reason I think Austin's style is so popular is because of how simple it is and how relatable it is. Often in the media we see celebrities wearing really out there outfits that most people can't relate to. For example, if you type into Google best dressed celebrity men, a lot of the outfits are just too much for the average Joe looking for outfit ideas. Either the clothing is too expensive, too impractical for daily wear, or just impossible to get hold of. Whereas Austin, on the other hand, wears a lot of neutral coloured, simple pieces that are practical and wearable for almost anyone. Better yet, the pieces he wears are classic vintage pieces that are often well stocked in any thrift store, so they're easy to get your hands on. Take a look at this outfit, for example. So here he's wearing a vintage MA1 bomber jacket, a simple white t-shirt, vintage Levi 501s, and a pair of vintage Red Wing boots. This style of jacket you can find for about £20. You can find the jeans for anywhere between £10 and £50, and the t-shirt you can pick up from somewhere like Uniqlo for about £10. The boots are going to be the most expensive item here, and they'll set you back anywhere from say £50 to £100 if you get them vintage. But you could replicate this whole outfit for under £200 basically. And because these pieces are so well made and they've stood the test of time, they're going to last you a lifetime, saving you even more money in the long run. But yeah, the vintage style is very popular at the moment, which has definitely helped to popularize his style. And because this style is made up of classic pieces that have stood the test of time, it resonates across generations. His style isn't only popular with the younger generations who like to follow trends, but it also strikes a chord with the older generations who appreciate classic pieces. So yeah, his style appeals to a wide audience. Another thing I really like about Austin's style is how beat up his clothing is. He's a clean-cut guy, but the roughness of his clothing gives him a bit of an edge. I think the contrast of his clothing in relation to the way he looks works really well for him, and it definitely makes his style stand out. And because he wears beat up clothing so well, it helps to normalize wearing clothing that isn't in pristine condition, which is another reason I think his style is so appealing. Not everyone can afford to buy new clothing all the time, so it's great to see someone in the spotlight, like Austin, normalizing wearing clothing that's well worn. And another thing Austin does, which I really like, is he wears the same items of clothing over and over again. And this is really inspiring for a lot of people because it proves that you don't need to have a huge wardrobe to look good. People are still talking highly about his style even though he's wearing the same items over and over again. If you literally had one pair of light wash Levi's, a pair of black painter pants from Stan Ray, a few white t-shirts, a few vintage t-shirts, a vintage Carhartt jacket, a vintage bomber jacket, and a pair of black and brown Red Wings, you'd be able to replicate most of his casual outfits. Oh, and sunglasses and caps for accessories, but then you'd be able to replicate most of his casual outfits. He pretty much just wears variations of these two outfits basically. And why not? They look great on him. The only time he isn't wearing the clothing that I've talked about is for smarter occasions, and he scrubs up well. But even then, he sometimes throws on some vintage pieces like he's doing here with the jeans and the boots. And this goes to show how versatile his pieces are for him, even though half of the outfit is made up of the clothing he usually wears so casually. Anyway, I want to move on to the next reason I think Austin's style is so popular, and it's all to do with the fit of his clothing. So let's be honest, Austin is tall, good looking, and a model. So yes, he's gonna look good in most things. But even so, he's still mastered dressing for his frame. He's another person who likes to use the rule of thirds to give his outfits some great proportions, and he does this through the fit of his clothing and the cut of his clothing. Remember, a lot of his clothing is beat up, so if it doesn't fit him well, he's gonna look like a slob. But his jeans always fit him perfectly in the leg and hit him at the waist, which complements his tall, lean frame. His jackets and t-shirts are usually cropped and also hit him perfectly at the waist, and that combination gives his outfits some amazing proportions. The cut of the clothing he wears wears works with his frame rather than against it. And when simple outfits like his look so good, it gives a lot of people hope that you don't need to overcomplicate things to get a great look. And before you say he just wears what's on trend and that's why his style is so popular, yes, that's a part of it, as we've already discussed. But it's not the only reason. The clothing still needs to fit him well, otherwise it's not going to look good. And also, fitted jeans aren't on trend at the moment, but that's what he wears most. Wide pants are what's trending now, and although Austin does wear them from time to time, he normally sticks to the more fitted looks. And not only do I think this style suits him best, a fitted straight cut will always appeal to the masses more than the extremes. They never look out of place no matter what the trends are doing, and they're a lot easier to wear for a lot of people, which is why they're always going to be the more popular option. And I'd love to talk about Austin's style evolution over the years because it hasn't always been as fine-tuned as it is now. But we haven't got time to go into all of that in this video, that's for another video. And also, I know I talk about the rule of thirds a lot, but there's so much more to proportions than that. But again, that's for another video. I need to move on to the final reason why I think Austin's style is so popular, and it's all to do with the way he carries himself. So I think Austin looks really confident and comfortable in his clothing and his style. It really does look like he's found a style that works for him that he really enjoys wearing. Here's a man who could wear whatever he wants and make it look good. That's literally his job, but he still chooses to wear simple vintage pieces. He more than likely gets offered free clothing all the time from top designers out there, yet he comes back to brands like Levi's, Carhartt, and Red Wing, and I can see why. It works for him. And from what I've seen of Austin in interviews, he comes across as a really chilled and relaxed guy, and I think his style really reflects that. I think when your style is an extension of who you are, it looks natural and effortless. And because he looks so effortless and cool in his outfits, a lot of people want to emulate his style in the hopes that it'll do the same for them. But just a heads up, what works for Austin might not necessarily work for you. For example, I can't fit into Levi's 501s that well, as much as I'd love to wear them. So if I'm taking inspiration from Austin, then I'd need to tweak my outfit to suit me and my frame. Anyway, he's developed a kind of uniform that he's become well known for, and I always love to see when people fine-tune their styles so well. It also helps to ground me. I spend a lot of time on social media, it's my job, and the amount of people I see on there who are changing their outfits and their wardrobes constantly sometimes makes you feel like you need to do the same. But then you've got people like Austin Butler who wear the same things over and over again and look great doing it, and it really helps you to see things differently. But I really rate his style. I think it looks great. It's relatable, it's timeless, and his outfits make me want to go and try some out for myself. And I think it's the same for a lot of people, and that's why I think his style is so popular. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please do leave the video a like, don't forget to hit subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. See you later. Was that good, Austin?
Like, actually, come here.
Why? What are you gonna do?
Come in.
No, Austin, you're freaking me out.
Talking to you. Come here.
Why? What are you gonna do?
Tonight, I'm gonna show you how to make a napkin rose.
I don't want to make a rose. It's getting weird. I'm off.